Okay, so today we'll be solving a merge to sorted list question. So question is very straight. You are given two sorted linked lists, list one, list two, and you have to return the merged sorted linked list. So for example, here's the question. Here's the example given. Let's say you have a linked list 1 to 4 that's sorted, and another linked list is 1 3 4 that's again sorted. So this should be the output one, then two, three, four, four. Let's look at an example here. Let's say both the lists are empty, so of course output will be empty. One of them empty, and the one is non-empty, so output should be the second is because there's nothing to be merged here. Of course, linked list can be the length of linked list can be not equal as well. So something like this, we can make another case here. So example, it's a 1 2, it's 3 and 4. So the output here, 1 2 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So we have to keep in mind these such cases as well while solving the question. Okay, so let directly jump to the solution. So the idea about solution is pretty straightforward. So you are given a two linked list here. So what you have to do is, let's say this is L1. Next linked list is, let's say, 1 2 5. This is L2. So what you have to do is to keep iterating over the linked lists. Okay, and you compare the current node, let's say current node on L2, and you see whichever is smaller. Whichever is smaller, you create a new node here, assign that value, and you move into the linked list from which you have picked this smaller element. So let's say we have picked the one from this. So we create a new linked list here. Okay, and we move the pointer in the L1 linked list. So L1 will, in the next iteration, L1 will be here. We won't move L2 in the iteration. So next we compare this 1 and 1. Now L2 has a smaller element, so you move the L2. So you keep doing till you exhaust all the both the linked list here, and finally you return the head of the new linked list here. So that's the pretty much idea. Now let's see the code here. So here's the code. You are given a function merge to list. You are given an input list node L1, list node L2, and you will be returning list node. List node structure is already defined. It will have integer value, next, and the constructor here. Okay. So here's the base condition. As I already told, if L1, if either of them is empty, return the second one because there's nothing to merge. Here we have created a dummy node. So as I told you in my previous video, that whenever you are dealing with let's say more than one linked list, it's always better to create a one dummy list node here, because that will save us a multiple if else check, because you never know, because you don't know which linked list will have a small element. So we will make a check and then point the result head to that list. So always create a dummy node here. So we have created a dummy node, and we have created a dummy iterator which will be useful for creating this dummy linked list. So after creating a dummy node and assigning iterator, we are basically using a while loop while for iterating the list node L1 and L2. So here is the condition that if L1 is less than equal to value 1, what I do is I'll assign the dummy iterator next to L1, and make dummy iterator to the move it to point it to L1 and make L1 and L1 loop next. Otherwise, I do the same thing with the L2 node. So the idea here is, initially our dummy node will be like something like this, ITR, and this will be our dummy, and this is pointing to null. So let's say take this example. So 1 and 1. So let's say so this value is less than equal to 1. So what we do is, I'll just directly assign this to 1 here. Okay. and I make dummy next, dummy iterator will move to 1 now. So now it will point to ITR, and we'll make L1 is equal to L1 dot next. So now L1 will point it here, and L2 is already pointing here. Now in the next iteration, L2 value is less than L1, so it come here, and again this will be pointing to 2, and the iterator is now will be pointing to 2. Okay, and now L2 will move to this position. So I'll keep doing this till both of them are not empty. So at this point of time, we'll be having values here. Let's say we pick this L1 here. Okay, and once L1 move to the null, and it's going to break here. Okay, but L2 is again, let's say, pointing to 4. So what happens here is we move to this condition. So here, let's say if L1 is not equal to null, so L1 is already null here. So what we do is we don't do anything. If L2 is not equal to null, what we do is we mark the iterator dot next is equal to L2. Okay, and finally return the dummy next, because we have already created a dummy node here. So we'll be returning dummy next. So dummy next will be returning this uh, value. So the add will be returned from this value. Okay, so let's take another example here. It will clear this thing why we have used it. So let's say you have a node 1, let's say node 2. Okay, and let's say here you have a node 3 and node 4, and let's say node 5. So as we see, L1 is not equal to L2, so this will be L2 and this will be L1. So here L1 not equal to L2, we create already the node is created, we assign that to 1. Then next iteration 2 is less than 3, then 2, and now finally L1 will be null after 2. So here L1 is null, so this while loop is broke. So we come here, if L1 is not equal to null, this condition won't go. Now if L2 is not equal to null, what we do is we assign the dummy iterator to the next of L2. Why? Because L1 is null, there's nothing to merge. Now we can just directly assign it to L2. That is the only available linked list here. Okay, so that's why we have done this condition. So L1 not equal to 1 is done because the same case can be happen when L2 has all the elements less than L1. Finally, I think you got this point where dummy dot next. We are returning the dummy dot next here, so we'll be returning the linked list from this one. So our final will be 1, it will be 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, so we'll be returning that. So that will be the output here. I think it's pretty much clear. This has already been handled here, and this case has already been handled here. Okay, I hope you have followed the question and the solution. Do let me know if you want me to solve any other question. That's all from my side. Bye bye. Take care.